You're watching Cape Media News, brought to you by Cape Media Center. Tonight on Cape Media News, a retrospective of some of our best stories, including children's events, protests, sports highlights, and more. Coming up next on Cape Media News. Good evening and welcome to Cape Media News, your source for hyperlocal news that matters. I'm Mitch Stock. For over 2 years, we here at Cape Media News have been dedicated to providing our 5 Mid-Cape communities with relevant, reliable, and timely coverage of local stories that impact you. Today, we're celebrating our 100th episode. Join us as we take a look back at some of our most notable pieces from the last 2 years. Our first story in our very first episode, which aired in February of 2023, involved a shakeup in Harwich's Affordable Housing Trust.
This is not about retaliation. This is not about bullying. This is about dysfunction. This is about 5 years of a trust and not moving the needle forward.
For several years, the Harwich Affordable Housing Trust has been facing a number of challenges, leading to frustration among its trustees. But during the Harwich Affordable Housing Trust meeting on January 17th, it seemed as though the trust had reached their boiling point.
You could have called.
You will yield. You will yield. You do not have the right.
At a subsequent Board of Selectmen meeting on January 23rd, Town Administrator Joe Powers apologized for how the meeting was conducted, acknowledging that it was not up to par.
I apologize to the members of the trust, to the participants that were present, to the board, and certainly to the residents and the citizens of our town. I regret the manner in which I comported myself and the manner in which the meeting was led.
However, the story does not end there. At the next Board of Selectmen meeting on January 30th, the motion was presented to remove some or all members of the Affordable Housing Trust in order to rectify its dysfunctionality.
Housing is one of the topics that has been talked about since I started 8 years ago, and that's all we've talked about. It's an emergency, but we're not moving that needle forward. And there is absolutely no symmetry on that committee.
Richard Waystack, a prominent member of the community, urged the board not to go through with this action.
I think it's a bad precedent to remove people because we don't agree with what they're doing. Harwich, we are better than this. I ask you not to move forward with this tonight.
But the pressure was just too high. After some finger-pointing between members, Chairman Michael McCaskill asked Don Howell if he would be willing to step down from the Affordable Housing Trust.
Don, are you willing to step down as the selectman appointee to allow another selectman to get on there?
No. You can remove me because that's really what you want to do, and you've been wanting to do that since April of 2021.
In response, McCaskill motioned for Howell's removal, which was then seconded by Mary Anderson.
That's what grown-ups do. They sit down and they talk things out. And you're behind the scenes, not talking to people, stirring things up. And I just think this needs to change.
Facing the possibility of a vote, Don Howell decided to resign from the Harwich Affordable Housing Trust, avoiding further conflict. The rest of the board agreed that no further action was required at the time, bringing the matter to a close.
I appreciate your taking that step, Don. I know that isn't your desire, and it takes a big person to do that, so I appreciate that. I suggest we let this ride and see if we can make things work.
This latest development highlights the ongoing challenges faced by the Harwich Affordable Housing Trust and the need for a functional solution to address the housing crisis in the community. For Cape Media News, I'm Ryan Thompson.
That was Ryan Thompson reporting, and today is his last day here at Cape Media Center. And I just want to say from all of us here at Cape Media News, we want to thank Ryan for all of the hard work he's put in over the last 2.5 years to grow this program. We wish him well and hope to still see him around the Media Center as a member. And now for a more lighthearted event from Harwich. Last year, we stopped by Brooks Free Library to talk about their Egg Drop Challenge class for kids. Take a look.
Today is our Egg Drop Challenge, which is an engineering challenge designed for kids and families. They're going to take a variety of different materials. I basically cleaned out my craft closet and put it all out on the table. And they're going to use all of those different materials to try to build something so that when I stand on the top of the ladder behind me and throw the egg off of the top of the ladder, that when it hits the ground, it will hopefully be protected by the contraption that they built rather than exploding into 1,000 eggshells and like just goo everywhere. The process is great. Actually, I love the engineering process. One of the things that I love about it is that it really helps to create a growth mindset, because whenever you're engineering something, you build it, you kind of test it out, which is why I have more eggs than I think we need. You build it, you test it out, and then you see what's working and what's not working, and then you iterate upon that. Like, okay, this design was just a no-go. I have to start over from scratch. Or this design almost but not quite worked. How can I fix it so that it will work the next time I try it? I expect to see lots of imagination on play. I expect to see lots of extremely different solutions to the challenge. I've done this several years in a row, and one of the things that I love about it is sometimes I will look at something and be like, oh gosh, no, I'm gonna throw this off the ladder and it is not gonna be great. And then it miraculously, in fact, does it. And other times I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh, this is solid, no way, not even a crack, and everywhere. So I love that all of the solutions are very different and yet can still work. I hope they walk away with the idea that engineering can be fun, that sometimes you make mistakes and that's okay because it's part of learning how to not make the mistake again in the future, that nothing is ever perfect. Sometimes you put all of the work into it and it still cracks, and that's okay because it was still fun. We've been doing this for a number of years now, and I do it a couple of times a year. Sometimes I do it with my homeschooling group as well. So some years nothing cracks, although I think that only happened once. Some years everything cracks. Most years you get a mix. Sometimes you get the successes, sometimes you get the not successes, but it's fun either way. And what I actually love about it too is how much the kids get involved in each other's things, right? Like, so I'll go to drop it and you can see everyone like, oh, is it gonna crack? Is it gonna crack? Even, and then it doesn't crack and everybody cheers, not just the kid who made that particular item. They can learn more at our website, which is www.brooksfreelibrary.org. We have a calendar with all of our information on there. We also have a Facebook page that you can get if you go into Facebook and put Brooks Free Library. And we have things in the newspaper, obviously, or you can call the library at 508-430-7562. The children's room is extension 2, or you can email me at acarpenter@clamsnet.org. Those are all great ways to reach us. We have lots of great programs this summer, many of them funded by the Friends of the Brooks Free Library. So I would definitely say the library is a great place to come and check out free programming all summer long and during the school year as well.
Coming up after the break, a look at one of our most controversial stories. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Cape Media News. In the fall of 2023, concerned citizens organized a protest outside of the Yarmouth Resort on Route 28. Concerns were raised about the potential of migrants from the state's shelter system being housed at the local motel, referring to them as illegals. A small counter-protest was organized, and we were there to speak with both sides.
We're here today in front of this hotel because there were American citizen people living here paying $300 a week. And Maura Healey's office called and asked if the illegals, over 100 illegal families, could stay here. He said yes, but only if he could get $700 a week. Therefore, he put a note under all of the American citizens' room, their door in their room, a note, and told them they all had to get out. They were forced out, illegals were let in. This is not a Democrat or a Republican issue. This is a human rights issue. It's being violated here. This establishment here has many, many housing violations, which are now being addressed. Maura Healey has put supposedly everything on hold, but we are being told that there's still the illegals that are in here. I will never call them migrants. They are illegal. They broke the laws of our country.
So that's why I'm trying to back at the base. It doesn't matter how wealthy we are. China's wealthy. Why aren't we protesting against China? Russia's wealthy. Why aren't we protesting at them? Why aren't Haitians going to China? Why aren't Haitians going to Russia? Going to Cuba? Why? Because they won't let you in.
This isn't just a right issue, this isn't a left issue, this is an issue for all of us. We are all members of this community, and we can't afford this burden. This is ridiculous. We have homeless people here, we have an opioid crisis. The location that they want to put this in is right 2 doors down from a daycare. It's right next to the Yarmouth House. It's one of the flagship restaurants here in Yarmouth. It's across the street from residential neighborhoods. We don't know who these people are. We don't know where they came from. They haven't been vetted. We don't know if they have criminal backgrounds. We don't know if they have medical issues. I just can't believe that we have to bear the tax burden of this. So.
Shelter everyone! Shelter everyone! The unhoused deserve help!
Humanitarian crisis from the day these people leave their houses. This is the end of the line for a long, terrible journey for these poor people. This is not going to help them. This is not going to increase their life. This is not any life that anybody wants to live by being in this resort in a hotel room when you can't work. It's absolutely an issue for these people here today, for the locals. But what happened with Kamala Harris going and getting to the root causes of this problem? And now it's here on our doorstep. That's why we're upset.
There are over 33% of vacant housing on Cape right now. Over 33%. That is more than the number of renters on Cape right now. Please, actually show compassion to the unhoused.
The people on the other side of the street are actively supporting policies and politicians that don't help locals or veterans or migrants. They don't help anybody. We are not here to say we don't care about our locals. We care about our locals just as much as we care about migrants that need help now. These things are not mutually exclusive. Everyone deserves housing.
Are you getting paid today since you work at the housing authority? Stop hiding behind your mask. We can't hear you. Our veterans and elderly need
With housing prices and so forth as high as they are, the last thing we need right now is to be giving our money and our housing situation to people who came here illegally, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to protest that.
Our son-in-law came from India, and he did it legally, and we're really, really proud of him. So we believe in legal immigration, not illegal. And the Cape's now becoming a dumping ground, and we just don't have the resources to support it. But allow them in when they're legal.
Americans first! We need senior housing! Housing for children that were born here and grew up here. They can't afford it. They're getting forced out of the low-income housing, so illegals can come here. Our children have the right to live where they were born.
Veterans come first. Don't throw them on the street.
What about all of our veterans and local homeless people that were tossed out of this place so that the town could do this and put all these immigrants in here? Why should we pay for their way? No one's paying my way. And then you get people that think that we're the bad guy for wanting to protect our country. A country without borders isn't a country at all, and that's where we're heading.
You do what's right. And, sometimes what's right is going to put you in the minority. And in this case, obviously, these people came because, they say they care about veterans, but where were they with Liberty Lodge? They weren't there.
We have veterans that say nothing. If you were here for your veterans now, where were you in Sandwich or Liberty Lodge?
I wish they had the courage of their convictions to show up and protest the rich who are driving up property values. I wish they had the conviction to show up when they try to kick out veterans. But it's only when it's immigrants that they decide to show up.
Housing for all, regardless of immigration status. Compassion over hate. Compassion over hate.
We the people are fed up. It's time to go to Ellis Island like our ancestors did, come in the country legally, then we'll be happy to invite you in. But get a job, support yourself. We are not here to do that. We worked hard our whole lives for this. Cape Cod is not full of rich people. Citizens, veterans, elderly, the young children that are growing up here that have to move off Cape because they can't afford housing. Come on, this is our country. We the people are fed up.
Just finish up real quick. Every Saturday, 10 o'clock in front of this building.
Every Saturday at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, until I drop dead.
Okay.
Or until we're all gone.
Okay.
And maybe with my big mouth, I might be gone soon enough because I don't have all friends and there's enemies out there.
Coming up after the break, sports and more. Welcome back to Cape Media News. Sometimes our most engaging content comes in short form. Over the years, we've had a few shorts go viral on various platforms, and here are a few of our most viewed clips.
I'm sick of hearing people who have second and third and fourth homes over here complaining that we don't need the housing, that we're going to mess with the traffic. Guess what? I'm on the verge of being homeless in a couple of months because I can't afford to pay $1,500, $1,700, $1,800 working for a nonprofit. So please, can we do something for the actual low-income people that live in this community? I'm sick of hearing the wealthy come in here and say all of these things when you're not going to Village Green. Half the kids in Village Green right now are knocking on the other complexes' doors because they don't have food in the summertime. So what is the Hyannis Town Council going to do for those people? By the way, that proposal about cameras all over the place, you all have a very small community of color. Placing cameras everywhere, that scares your community of color. Guess what? You already have had the Trader-Reds guy say the N-word all over the place and say that the cops were on his side. How do the people of color in this community feel safe?
IATSE and the Teamsters have not been crossing our picket lines. They're respecting our picket lines, and we found that that was true in LA. It's true in New York. But when we go outside of these major film and television making hubs, we're finding that the union solidarity is everywhere. It's an incredible message to send to people like David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Discovery, who in the last 2 years has cut himself a check for $250 million. But they tell me they can't pay the writers. All we want to do is get a call from the AMPTP to get us back to the table. They haven't even counter-offered anything. We're just waiting for them to call. So, you know, my life isn't being a picketer. My life is being a writer, so it's not about ethics anymore. It's about their bottom line. So the more we hurt their bottom line, the closer we'll be to hopefully getting a phone call back from them and getting back to the table.
Heard that Ron DeSantis was coming here to Cotuit. It's a small town. By and large, this town, this county, this state rejects any intolerant, hateful ideology. And he's not welcome here. It started with a video of me just going on a rant, hearing that he was going to be here and that I'd do my best to find it. And I thought I'd be kind of the lone wolf, and it went viral and it's taken off. The attention, the people who've shown up, the support, either in person or online, it's just been absolutely incredible, and it's really heartening. For those that couldn't come here, you know, we're here for you. Your voices are being heard, the support. You know, if you're not here in person, but you're here in spirit. You know, that's just incredible. It's amazing.
Shame! 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 Shame!
This just in. This just is. This just in. 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 Cape Media News is back. Tune in every Friday at 5:30. 5:30. 5:30. 5:30. 5:30. 5:30. 5:30 p.m. for hyper local news that matters every Friday. Today
You may have recognized Cape Media News spokeschild, my daughter, Fiona Caswell, in that last clip. She really enjoys it when she can participate in our news program, and here is one of her most recent and one of my favorite stories, the arrival of jolly old St. Nick at Patriot Square.
Thank you. This just in, Cape Media News spokeschild is back, Fiona Caswell. Welcome back. Any minute now, Santa should be arriving by helicopter, and we should be seeing him any minute. And we have to listen for a sound that goes. Thank you. Let's go interview some kids about what their favorite holiday is, and what their favorite Christmas thing is. Let's go. Sir, what's your favorite thing about Christmas? Thank you. Ma'am, what's your favorite thing about Christmas?
I like Santa.
Same. Okay, bye. Santa Claus should be coming any minute now. We are looking up at the sky to see if he is coming. And if when he comes, we will cue again. Goodbye. Any minute now, people. Any minute now. So he's coming from that way? Are you positive? What's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Watching the joy in my grandchildren's eyes.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, any minute now. Santa will be coming in by the helicopter, and he will be in by 1 o'clock today, and it is approximately, what time is it?
12:59.
It's approximately 12:59 p.m., and he should be coming in any second now by a helicopter. Santa! Santa's coming! It's Santa! He is coming now. Yay! Santa Claus is now here. And exactly, what time is it? Exactly, we don't know the time. 1:07. Santa Claus is here now. Woohoo! It's Santa! I know that guy! That's so cool! Santa Claus has gotten out of the thing. He's driving around the parking lot. Back to you, random person.
And last but certainly not least this evening, some sports highlights featuring our #1 sports guy, Ryan Downs.
Welcome back to the Cape Media News Sports segment. I'm your host and local sports guy, Ryan Downs. Going with the 100th episode theme today, and in no particular order, we're going to take a look back at some of our most memorable sports moments and celebrate our athletes' successes. Starting off with Barnstable Volleyball. Last year, in the spring 2024 season, we followed the Redhawks pretty closely throughout the season, and on May 20th, in a home game versus O'Brien, we were able to catch the moment when senior Hunter Parent got his 1,000th assist. Parent finished the game with 28 assists, 5 kills, and 4 digs. Barnstable went on to win this game, which was their 6th win in a row at the time, with a set score of 3-1.
I was just a little nervous. I was more focused on winning the game. I just really wanted to make sure that we won the game that I got my 1,000th in, because O'Brien it was kind of hard to find film on him, so we didn't really know what was going on coming into it, but it felt nice. It felt really nice hitting that 1,000. I've been a starter for 3 years, and honestly, we've been pretty bad for like my last 2 years, and it finally feels like we're coming together as a team, and it's nice. We're doing pretty well right now, just as a team and everything.
Last fall, we were able to catch an intense second-round playoff matchup between the 6th-ranked DY Field Hockey girls and the 11th-ranked East Longmeadow team. Leah Woodward's early goal set the tone, giving DY a 1-0 lead by the end of the first quarter. East Longmeadow tied it by the half and took a 2-1 lead by the end of the third quarter. DY rallied, tying the game 2-2 with 12 minutes left in regulation, pushing the match into a 10-minute 6-on-6 overtime period, and eventually a second 10-minute period. With the score still even after extended play, the contest went to a shootout. East Longmeadow went first in the shootout and was denied 3 of their 4 shots, while DY went 3 for 3 to claim victory.
Fight, fight, fight!
And in the same season, fall 2024, Barnstable boys soccer defeated arguably the best soccer team on Cape at the time, Monomoy, in dominant fashion with a final score of 10-0. The Redhawks got off to a stunning start, scoring just 20 seconds into the match, and never slowed down the rest of the way. As the half progressed, the Redhawks struck again, making it 2-0, then 3-0, then 4-0, eventually heading into halftime with a score of 7-0. Barnstable's number 9 had already tallied an impressive 3 goals and 3 assists. The second half, we saw Barnstable shift their focus to their younger talent, who continued to dominate. They added 3 more goals, leaving Monomoy overwhelmed and unable to respond. The final score stood at 10-0. This game eventually went down as a forfeit loss for Barnstable and win for Monomoy due to roster complications for Barnstable. But Cape Media News was there to show you how it all really went down. And while we're on soccer, we're going to shed some light on the DY and Monomoy boys team. DY had an unbelievable season this past fall. We really didn't have a lot of knowledge on them heading into the season, but after attending our first game in September, we found ourselves coming back for more action. They played with such an intensity, it was fun to watch them succeed. They made it to the second round of the playoffs. Wow, what a powerful heel kick. On the other hand, we had Monomoy. In every game we went to of theirs, the score was run up. While we can classify DY's gameplay as gritty and hustle earned, Monomoy was successful in other ways. They had a fluid offense all season, making swift passes and setting up timely shots and plays. They were led by the Laramie brothers, who weren't afraid to take risks and commanded the field at all times, as well as a strong senior class. Then this winter, just 2 months ago, we had an all-time moment from the Monomoy boys basketball team.
Third for a team.
Everything was on the line for Monomoy when they traveled to Nantucket on February 19th. Their season, a chance at a trip to the playoffs, and the Cape and Islands League Maritime Division Championship.
And now another steal. Look out, this is Martin. Martin underneath, and the layup is...
The Sharks got out to a real slow start. They found themselves only scoring 6 points in the entire second quarter, and down by as much as 18. They exploded for 23 points in the third quarter to bring it to only a 10-point game, and opened the fourth quarter with 3 straight threes to make it a 1-point game.
Martin, that's good! And it's a 1-point ball game, a 9-0 run for the Sharks with 5:15 to go here in the fourth quarter, and a timeout called by the Whalers.
With less than 30 seconds to play, down 5, Jackson Rocco pulled up from 3 to make it a 2-point game. Nantucket inbounded the ball and called for a timeout. On the following play, Nantucket tried to dribble it out, but a jump ball was called, giving Monomoy one last chance to make something happen with only 5 seconds left on the clock.
Inbounder is Hyora. 4 seconds to go. It's in Rocco's hand. Rocco fires for the win. It's good! It's good! And Monomoy wins it at the buzzer. 60-59, the Sharks win it. Rocco hits the three-pointer. And the Sharks win the Maritime Division of the Cape and Island League. Wow, what a finish. Rocco, who struggled in the second and third quarters, come back in the fourth quarter to hit the game winner. You see it right here. Definitely got it off before the buzzer, and he hits it.
And there were plenty of other moments we could have shared, but we'll call it there for now. That's it for the 100th episode Sports Update. Back to you, Mitch.
Thanks, Ryan. Some keen observers might have noticed a shot of Ryan Thompson reporting at a local beach in our intro every week. This clip is from an unreleased promo test shoot we did last year, and we've decided to air it for the first and only time right now to celebrate our 100th episode. Take a look.
Good afternoon, Cape Cod. Are you looking for news that's fresh as the ocean breeze? Well, you're in luck.
We write gripping stories that reel you in. Whoa!
We bring you interviews with all the local personalities. Excuse me, sir? Sir, can I get an interview? Sir, please?
You dig deeper than treasure hunters to find the stories that matter.
For news that's more local than your backyard barbecue, tune in to Cape Media News. Hyper-local news that matters. Thank you for joining us this evening for our 100th episode of Cape Media News. We will be off next week, but be sure to catch our next episode on May 2nd. And as always, if you have a story you'd like to see covered, send us an email at newstip@capemedia.org. And stay up to date on all the local happenings by following us on Facebook and YouTube. And make sure to tune in every Friday at 5:30 for more hyperlocal news that matters on Channel 26, Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. For Cape Media News, I'm Mitch Sock.